George King from Union County. If you wrestled George King in 2000 in the state of Kentucky, well, son, you lost. George won and demolished his competition in the 2000 state championship, 171 pounds. As always, we're going to go over his bracket. But George, thank you for being here today. If you would, just kind of walk us through what makes wrestling in Union County so special.
Well, it's kind of weird. When I wrestled, it wasn't the same way that it is now. When I wrestled in Union County, it was under a different regime, and we all wrestled since we were in second grade, but there wasn't very many of us. I think on the team, we may have had 10.
Right.
But now Union County wrestling has just exploded and blown up.
As of this filming, this is a semi-state weekend in 2022. Union County has 13 state championships. I don't even know how many individual state champions. But I would have to say George King is probably the most dominant. Now, we know Brock Irvin from Union has 5 state championships. But my money's going to go on George, and you're going to see why in the video. Now, as always, we've got the bracket here. You're going to see a pattern. In the first round, you wrestled Justin Bargo from Perry County Central. You won that by a pin in 21 seconds. In the quarterfinals, you wrestled Brad Fairfax from St. Xavier. You won that by a pin in 31 seconds. In the semifinals, you wrestled Pascal Johnson from Fort Campbell. You won that by pin in a minute and 59 seconds. So I got to ask George, what took so long?
Well, the only reason he lasted that long is he was in our district.
I love the way you say that.
I wrestled him probably 6 or 7 times, so he knew to hide and run from that double leg. Because when it was coming, wasn't no stopping
it. Truth. In the finals, you actually wrestled a teammate of mine, because I was on the wrestling team in 1999-2000. You wrestled Billy Keith Allen from Johnson Central. And we're going to go ahead and tell you, George wins that by pin in 49 seconds. Now, just a few of George's accolades that year. The 21-second first round pin was the fastest pin of the entire tournament. You won the quickest pin for that. You had 4 pins, which at the time to get to or win the state championship was 4 rounds. You had all 4 pins. You won the quickest pin or the most pins in the least amount of time, 3 minutes and 40 seconds. A person, Heath Chafin, we were talking, Heath wrestled for Prestonburg. We went in together and, purchased all the videos to do this series, me, him, and his brother Nick, which you'll see Nick Chafin's video later. We were talking last night. You probably have the most dominant state championship appearance without question. Your 4 pins in the least amount of time, most outstanding wrestler, your finals as you're getting ready to see. We're talking late 1980s Mike Tyson level dominance. I mean, you just come in and no playing around. You're going to see it. The double leg, boom, it's over. I mean, just when you went into that state tournament, kind of talk us through, did you know that was yours? Did you know nobody could touch you?
I did feel that way because my junior year, I kind of got a bad break. And I was ranked number 2. And there was a kid named William Randall from Eastern that was ranked 1, and we were put in the same side of the bracket. So I had to wrestle him in the semis, and I lost that match 6-3, 8-4 or so. Mm-hmm. And I came back and got 3rd. But my senior year, I did lose 1 match my senior year.
Oh, my.
But it was in Indiana.
Okay.
And it was Indiana's, I don't know if he was state champion or not, but it was an Indiana boy. And I lost that match, but my senior year I was 56-1.
My goodness.
And I knew going into the state that there wasn't anybody.
Now, I reached out to George yesterday. We got their hands on the footage yesterday. And I'll let you kind of tell the story, if you would. You've never seen this, correct?
I haven't. I have not seen this tape. It was kind of lost in the files of Coach Walls's, and we looked for it probably 15 years ago, or maybe 10 years ago when my son was born, and it was gone.
Well, today, George, today's your, I don't say lucky day, but we get to relive your glory days. That way, your kids, everybody associated, you're with South Oldham, correct?
South Oldham.
Everybody at South Oldham, everybody at Union County can watch this massacre that you're getting ready to see. Billy, I love you. You know you're my teammate, but George, you were the man. Enough talking. Let's get to it.
Let's go.
Let's do it. All right, George. You win your semifinal match in the morning. I ask everybody the same question. You got 4 or 5, 6 hours in between semifinals and finals. Kind of walk us through. Tell us, where your head's at. Just give us your memories of the win, after your win and in between that and the finals.
Like you said, it's a long wait, and you're really excited to get up in the morning. And I knew I would win that. I knew I was going to win my semis match.
Right.
And what we had planned to do, me and my teammate, his name was Derek Trowbridge. We call him Monk. Monk, he was state champion 160, and that was my wrestling partner. And we had already talked about we were going back over to the hotel at the dungeon, and we did go to sleep. We went back and took a nap.
I believe, yep.
And then we got up, and I'm sure our parents got us up at some point, and then we walked back over and watched a little bit of the wrestlebacks, and then started getting ready.
Now, your brother was in the finals in 1997, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And seeing your brother under the lights, knowing the atmosphere, were you, I'm not going to say nervous, was you scared, but it had to be a different environment than anything you've ever, because how many people get to actually wrestle under the lights?
Yeah.
There's, 14 weight classes, a very select few every year get to wrestle under that. So seeing the light, seeing your brother, did your brother give you any advice, going in, or just go out and do your thing? What did anything from, any words of wisdom from him?
He just, I don't remember exactly what he said from, 22 years ago now.
Well, I, fair enough.
But basically what he meant was don't let the moment be too big.
Okay.
And give him hell.
Hey, buddy, sometimes that's what you got to do.
Yeah.
All right. Hit the space bar, we're rolling. Let's do it. All right. So, George is wrestling Billy Allen. Here we go. I love the singlet, love the hair. All right. Get off me, boy. I love your stance.
Look. Oh, shoot.
All right, so what are you trying to work right there?
I'm just trying to set him up.
I got you.
I did a lot of dancing and hand fighting, and I probably slapped him a little too hard there.
Now, there. But, oh. My goodness.
When he turned, it was locked in.
Yep, I could see it. Boom. I love this, man.
I think I tried to do a backflip. Look at God.
There it is, man.
That's
All those years in the mat room, all those years in the weight room, 49 seconds paid off, man.
yeah. Whoa.
Yep.
That brings back lots of
Well, good,
memories.
man. That's awesome. Now, who's this with you right here?
I know that's Coach Walls, Dennis Walls, and his two sons are coaches now. One's a head coach for Caldwell County High.
Mm-hmm.
That's Jason Walls, and then his brother was a year older than me, and that's Josh Walls.
All right.
And he's a coach at Union County Middle School.
Okay.
And I want to say that's Derek Trowbridge. That's Mom.
Okay. All right.
On 160 pounder.
Of course, hugs all around. I mean, we got most outstanding wrestler, quickest pin, 21 seconds of the entire tournament, most pins in the least amount of time, 4 pins in 3 minutes and 40 seconds. Now let's watch it again. That was the first time you ever seen it.
That was it.
Now, let's watch it one more time and kind of just talk us through, why you, like, was this something that you normally done or whatever? Let's do it. Now, right off the whistle, Billy shoots on you. Was that something that you expected, or?
I did not. Most people didn't shoot on me, and kind of how you can tell what he's doing there is he's kind of on his heels, and a lot of it's just flash and show.
I got you.
Doing a lot of dancing, moving. He doesn't know when I'm coming.
Right there, boom. You can tell that was a.
Yeah, that may have been a point for him.
No. You have got the guns, buddy.
Well,
now, right there, is that like your go-to fall? I mean,
well, usually what I like to do, and I wish you had the other matches and you would have saw it, is I like to pick them up and sink a half in the air.
I got you.
And then just lay him down. But he was a little too wiry, and when I picked him up, I couldn't get him turned in position.
So if they were up in there, you had them.
Oh yeah.
If they was up, lifted up, it was over, right?
Yeah, you weren't shaken out of it.
I got you.
And like I said, all the dancing and moving and stuff, it's just to set my shot up. That's the main thing that I'm trying to accomplish.
Well, you clearly accomplished it. So you've watched it now. Tell us what you're feeling.
I don't know, man. It's kind of mind blowing, just looking at that body and then looking at this body.
Man, I believe you can still go now if you had to. Get out there and probably win. I'd say probably the 215 class now.
About 240.
Well, I don't know about that.
But it's weird watching this because, like I told you, I've got a 13-year-old right now, and what's crazy is he's 13 and he's my height, and he's about 175.
Oh my! So we looking out for him, huh?
So
what's his name so we can be looking out for him?
Deacon King.
Deacon King. Deacon. A few years, big man. Me and you doing a video. Now I'm sure you've told your kids how good Dad was. Now that you've got the proof. Now that we have it on video, you're going to, of course, get a copy. We're going to put the video out on the channel. You've all these years, people that didn't get to see you, they've heard the stories. Now, I mean, it's got to feel validating.
It does, and I can't wait to show him and then some others that were doubters.
Right.
I'm like, I used to be able to do it.
Ah.
I used to be able to do it. But now I go out there and I try to practice with the kids, and I'm like, oh, my back, my knees.
I totally feel you. A few more questions and we'll end the video. I love the singlet. Do you still have the singlet?
He made us give them back.
Oh my goodness!
They used them for a few years after. That was the first. That was the first year we used them.
And I love how teams have regular singlets and like the final singlets. I love that. And the hair. The hair. First time I saw that, because on the KHSAA it's just a black and white and you can't tell. And I was like, that. Now was the dyed hair just something for state or regions or what?
I did it right before regionals, and I don't know if you remember it or not, but back in the late '90s there was a R&B group named Drew Hill.
Oh yeah.
And there was a guy named Cisco.
Yep. Oh yeah. Thong song.
Yeah, the thong song. And he kind of made that big, and it was also, just to be honest, it was also a shot at Woodford County. Woodford County always did it.
Yep.
And back then when we wrestled in the dungeon, it was Woodford County and there was St. Ags.
Yep.
And those were your two big, so it was kind of a shot at them as well.
Yeah, Woodford, they always come in. Everybody always come in with the blonde hair, whatever. And I like that though. I like that mindset. George, buddy, thank you for coming.
Yes, sir.
I greatly appreciate it. Thank you for driving in you come in today from Indianapolis to Lexington to do this. and I greatly appreciate it. I think it was worth your time. I think it was worth your trip getting to see it.
Absolutely. I appreciate you finding me for one.
Well,
and getting this because it means a lot to me, and I'm sure my son won't say it, but it'll mean a lot to him.
I guarantee it. That way you can always have it. Dad was as good as he said he was.
Yes,
so,
sir.
Anybody else from Union County, Christian County, anybody else down to Western Kentucky, if you have your video, I have a pretty good collection now. I'm going to get more. It's the fact of getting the files transferred to me. If you want to do a video about your state championship win, reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to set something up, meet you halfway, whatever the case is, because I just want to tell our champion stories. I just want to be able to let them have their time. That's all we've got for this one. Again, thanks to George King for coming in. We'll see you guys on the mats.